Today, we'll be responding to the top 10 biblical dream interpretations and settle the question we've all had once and for all. Who's the better dream interpreter? Jesus Christ of Nazareth or Jesse Lyon of Orlando, Florida?
Did you know that God can speak to you in dreams? He did it on numerous occasions in both the Old and the New Testament. And while some dreams are direct and clear in their meaning, most leave us scratching our heads wondering, what was that?
Sometimes you leave me scratching my head wondering, what was that? Right off the rip is I think the Bible gets things wrong because it makes things way too black and white. Dreams come from the emotional part of your brain, and emotions are nuanced. A lot of people don't even know that it's actually very uncommon for you to feel a single emotion. It is much more common for a human being to feel a multitude of emotions at the same time. You know, when you're getting ready to go on a roller coaster with your family, you feel love for your family, you feel connection, you feel belonging, you feel acceptance, you feel anticipation, you feel anxiety, you feel nervousness. All that's like 8 emotions just off the top of my head without a script prepared about what it is. And most people don't really recognize that. So when you're looking at your dreams, you have to recognize that there is an external meaning, how it interacts with your external world, and an internal meaning, how this dream is going to give you insight and information about your emotions and your internal world. I don't like the idea of splitting them into this is a good dream, this is a bad dream, because that's just overwhelmingly not true. All of the dreams, whether they feel good or feel bad, have some important message to give you that is helpful, beneficial, and going to improve your life. And that's why I'm here helping you decode the symbols and the communications from your unconscious mind. So I apologize. This is going to be a rant type video, but we're going to get through it together. I'm probably going to need you to hold my hand because I will be severely triggered throughout. But here we go.
Number 1 is a bathroom.
Love it.
Dreams of being in a bathroom often indicate a cleansing. And this could be a cleansing of sin or simply from the filth that comes on us as the result of being in a yicky world. Whether on
a yicky world? Oh, sorry. Okay. All right.
a toilet or in a shower, it's a time of cleansing. And be sure to recall the condition of the bathroom.
I'll have to hold my lips.
Were you unable to use the actual toilet? Was the shower refreshing? Disgusting bathrooms can indicate sickness or disease. So be very mindful also where the bathroom was.
They always get so literal. They get so literal about these. If you dream about a bathroom and it's a dirty bathroom, it could mean sickness and disease. I have had so many people tell me about a dirty bathroom and nobody got sick, nobody got a disease, nobody was dying. You got to remember these are emotional symbols, right? And again, it gets too black and white, too literal sometimes with these spiritual dream interpretations. So let's talk about bathroom for a minute. Bathroom cleansing is a small part of the greater topic of bathroom. Bathrooms relate to the psychosocial developmental phase called the anal phase. Now, that may sound strange, but the anal phase is when a little child learns that they can create something and put it into the world. They create poop. or pee, right? And so oftentimes a child will run over to mommy and daddy and be like, look what I made. I pooped in the toilet. And then mommy and daddy go, yay, you pooped in the potty. That is so crucial for the development of that child because that child is learning that they can produce something and that people will celebrate what they produce, even if it's stinky, right? And so when you're dreaming about a bathroom, it's about stress in your life, that buildup of tension inside of your gut, and then the release of that tension. And that release of tension is creativity. So you can look at some of the elements of the symbol, like is the bathroom dirty? Because your creative space may be cluttered with other people's shit, literally, right? Or you can look at, are you trying to hold, your potty making business in? Are you embarrassed about it being in a public place? Are you feeling vulnerable in that state, right? Because being creative is vulnerable. You're sharing your authentic expression of yourself. And so there can be some real feelings of vulnerability when it comes to the bathroom. So I just think emotional cleansing is one part of it. Showers would be much more about emotional cleansing. Being in the rain, being in a shower, taking a bath can be much more about emotional cleansing. Actually, I would say just showers. Baths can be much more about emotional insight because you think about like that pool of water represents like a mirror into your emotional insight. So a little bit simplistic, a little bit too literal, but okay, we're in the right ballpark at least. We're playing the right sport here. Let's get back to it.
Was it in your house, your church, your workplace? You get the point. Number two
is
being naked.
Love that.
Being naked or partially clothed in a dream
Look
represents
how she fidgeted with her hair and felt very uncomfortable. Those Christians don't like being naked sometimes. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
a level of vulnerability and exposure. So you're going to
Mm-hmm.
want to look for the context. Was I comfortable being exposed in front of others, or was
They always put these in negative terms sometimes. They're like comfortability and exposure, or vulnerability and exposure. I wouldn't term it that way. That's so negative. I would say it's about authenticity. This is my authentic self, unclothed, naked, raw. That's powerful. Like being naked is powerful. Like people pay attention to you when you're naked. You know what I'm saying? So it can be about vulnerability. It can be about embarrassment, right? And oftentimes it is, but that dream is a call to sort of transcend the embarrassment and be comfortable and be accepting of your raw, authentic identity. So let's keep going.
I embarrassed? Was I by myself? Or was I in front of a large crowd? Was I on stage in front of thousands?
Was it my
or just
OnlyFans?
one person? These can begin to indicate if there is an area of your life that will be exposed and how many people it will impact.
Huh.
In some cases, this can be a warning dream to clean up areas of
She's
your
choking
life
up.
before God allows it to be exposed.
So many warnings. A lot of the biblical spiritual stuff is prophetic based, which there are prophetic dreams. There are like future telling dreams. I'm a big believer in that, and there's some research to prove it too. But I don't know if this is like, hey, you're about to be exposed in front of all these people. It can be some fears inside of your emotions about that, and it's a call to transcend those fears and to be truthful, right? And what's funny is I would think that spiritual and biblical dream interpretation would be all on board with this, because isn't the Bible all about truth? So, I think there's some really good things to be said about biblical and spiritual dream interpretation. It helped us understand our dreams before we had the science to really do that. But I would focus more on truth and authenticity, not so much the negative, shamey elements of being naked in a dream. Let's keep going.
Number 3
Okay.
is people.
That's broad.
This element is something that people frequently misinterpret. Since dreams
Yes.
can feel so real, we often assume that the person is real and can even believe that the dream is about that person.
Ooh,
And this
I
can
agree.
be, but most dreams are about you. And the people
Wow.
in your dream, they can be literal or they can be a representation.
Very
They
true.
could represent
Nice.
a position. They could represent the meaning of their name. They could represent how you feel about them in
Usually
real
that
life.
one. Yep.
Those are people that you know. Now, the same is especially true for those that you don't know in a dream.
Justin Bieber?
Faceless
Selena
people,
Gomez?
on the other hand,
Uh-oh.
often hold a spiritual meaning. Sometimes they can be
Uh-oh.
angelic, demonic, or even the Holy Spirit.
Are we getting in the weeds?
And number 4
Okay,
is weapons.
okay. All right, hold on. Let's pause for that one. Sure. I think she nailed it, actually. I'm very impressed. I would say a little bit extra. We went into demonic and angels and Holy Spirit with faceless people, but the faceless people usually is a lack of insight, right? If you can't see someone's face, you don't know their identity. And that person that's faceless in your dream is representing a part of your own identity that you don't really know or haven't really connected with very well. So like, let's say that there's this big, strong, faceless person who's coming and threatening you. Well, you may be afraid of taking assertive, aggressive, responsible control of your life, and you may kind of let other people kind of control what you do or tell you what to do. That faceless person is trying to say, hey, there is an assertive, aggressive identity inside of you that you don't know very well. You need to make friends with it, because otherwise it's going to cause pain inside of your life. I would kind of go with more of that. But otherwise, wow, I'm very, very impressed. Well said. Let's learn about number 4, weapons.
We've all had a dream with a weapon of some sort, a knife, a gun, a sword, you name it.
Have we all?
A weapon represents either an attack or spiritual warfare. And you'll want to look out for things like the size and the power of the weapon.
Size
was
and
I
power.
using it, or was it being used against me?
I always pay attention to
Did
size
my
and
weapons
power.
work, or was I trying to fire a faulty gun?
Aha.
Number 5 is vehicles.
Wait. You can't get away with that. You didn't answer what the dream meant. Pay attention to it. Weapons are about power, right? And she mentioned that, but she didn't go deep into the meaning. Weapons are about power. If somebody is using a weapon against you, it's you feel powerless in your life. If you're using a weapon against somebody else, it's your power in your life. If you're trying to shoot a gun and you're missing the mark, it's about you feeling like you're missing the mark in trying to achieve your goals or accomplish some task in your life. So it's very much about power. Weapons and teeth actually are the same. Weapons and arms are very much the same. Your arms fight, right? If you're having that slow-mo punch kind of dream where you try and hit somebody and it doesn't do any damage, very similar to trying to use a weapon and it doesn't do any damage. It's about how much power and control you have in your life, and your mind's trying to process that and be like, how do we get better at accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish in our life? So I feel like she skipped that one there, but there's the more Jungian psychoanalytical interpretation for you.
Vehicles can often represent work or ministry. Vehicles can vary from bicycles to spaceships and everything in between.
I would kind of disagree.
The bigger the vehicle, the bigger the impact. And you'll want to look for
like a big impact vehicle.
Operating the vehicle. Are you the passenger or
That's
the driver?
True.
Did your vehicle break down, or is it flying into outer space?
Definitely pay attention to who is driving. That's huge. I'll tell you why in a minute.
Number 6.
Okay, all right. So I guess I'll tell you why right now. She's moving on. Vehicles are about your control over life's direction. So ministry, yes, and job, yes, but that's just a small subset of the bigger picture. It's about life control and direction. Cars are the number one most common vehicle that we see in Dream because they interact with us a lot in our life. I mean, most of us drive cars. So cars about who's driving your life. Are you driving your life? Can you press the brakes? Do the brakes work? Because that may mean if the brakes don't work, that you feel like your personal, sexual, physical drives are taking control. You're not able to pump the brakes on your drives. Get the play on words there. If somebody else is driving the car, it may be a warning to say, hey, we are letting this other person have a little bit too much control in our life. We need to take control. If it's public transportation, you may be totally out of control altogether. It feels like life is running away with you instead of you running away with your life. So pay attention to vehicles, very, very important. Crashing, possible calamity, you're going too fast. They're warnings, they're insight into life's direction and your control over them. Okay, but I guess we're getting to number 6. Water.
Is water.
Okay.
Water can frequently represent a move of the Holy Spirit. Again, it depends on the context of the dream.
We jump right in
Dreams
the
can
Bible.
Be positive, negative, or personal. And rain can be a spiritual blessing if it's clean.
If it's clean, if it's acid rain would be a very different dream meaning. I feel like, yeah, we're moving on to the other one. I don't know if that helped. So water is emotions, right? And depending on the clarity of water, it's insight into the emotions. So we have used water as an emotional symbol all the time. Tranquility, peace. You know, that's why they in the lobbies of hotels or in the doctor's office, they'll have like a little waterfall because it's tranquil, peaceful. It's symbolizing calm emotions, a babbling brook, right? It's the flow of your life. So water is emotions. Now, like I said, with the shower, that's a cleansing of your emotions. If you're swimming in the ocean, that's the depth of your deeper unconscious emotions. That's like the totality of your unconscious emotional mind. So pay attention to water, pay attention to the symbols. Like especially drowning in water. It means you're overwhelmed and feel like you're drowning in your emotions. I don't feel like she went into that, but on the right track, I suppose.
Number 7, hallways.
Ah.
Hallways frequently represent
A vagina, actually.
times of transition. So when you're in the hallway, look for things like light, darkness, turns, doorways.
Now, you may think I'm being silly, but it actually does, and I'll tell you why it symbolizes a vagina.
Speaking of which, number 8.
Okay, all right, I guess we'll talk about it right now. She moves on quick. So a hallway is actually, she got it right. It is a transition, but I want you to think about it in terms of birth, right? It's a transition from one place that you are to a new place that you are. We treat children very differently after they've traveled the hallway of the vaginal birth canal, right? There's an unborn fetus, and then there's a baby, there's an infant, right? Those are very different. And so when you're seeing a hallway in your dream, it's about this transition time. You're being reborn, and there's these opportunities. Will you go right? Will you go left? Is it dark? Is it light? Are you traveling through a dark time of transition? Are you traveling through a light time of transition? Are you traveling to the light at the end of the hallway, from a place of darkness in your life where you're confused and maybe scared to a place of insight and clarity? Right. So it's very, very important. But I would actually add some more primal elements to that about this transition. So let's keep going. Number 8. All right.
Doors.
Doors.
Doors in a
Oh,
dream can
hand in
represent
hand.
opportunity, new beginnings, or secrecy. So ask yourself, is the
Actually,
door wide open? Is the door closed? But you know you need to walk through it. Is it locked
I would
and you're
agree.
trying to get it open? Is it a big door, small door? Is it a door to your past, or are you unfamiliar with where it leads?
That's
Number
actually
9,
actually very true.
money.
I agree. I agree with that one a lot. But she seems to be asking more questions than giving answers. But yeah. No, doors, opportunity. That's good. Who comes a knocking? Pay attention.
Money can represent.
Actually, I'll add one thing to that before we get to money. So doors, they can also be about boundaries though. She missed the boundaries one because sometimes we'll have these dreams where people like break into our house through our doors or they're banging on the door. That's what kind of jogged my memory is the knocking on the door. When somebody's banging on the door or you're having some kind of dream like that, it's about your boundaries. How good are your boundaries? What is trying to break into your psyche, symbolized by the house, right? And what do you need to be keeping out? Oftentimes when something's breaking into your house, though, it's a part of yourself that you do need to accept in and learn to make friends with, though. So don't just think it's like demonic or spiritual warfare with that one. But okay, money, here we go.
Money can represent a gain or a loss of favor. Number 10, an ex-partner.
Okay, that was really
A
fast. Money is value. So yeah, sure, maybe a gain or loss of favor, but in a value kind of sense. If you're gaining money, you're gaining value. If you're losing money, you're losing value. So what value changes are taking place in your life? That's what I would look out for with money. A lot of people think it's good to win the lottery in your dreams, and that is good, but even though you're gaining value, it can symbolize that you don't feel directly in control of the value that's being added to your life. The lottery is not a predictable and stable source of income. So it's great that you got some value in your life. You know, there's some value there, but you might want to be looking for some more sustainable ways for you to be in charge of that value coming into your life. I would add that. But okay, let's go to number 10, the much anticipated ex-partner.
Person from your past, especially an intimate one, can
Mm,
indicate that you are slipping back into old patterns. Don't worry, it's likely not God telling you that you're going to be back with this person.
agreed.
And number 11.
Agree. Oh, there's an 11. Whoa. Surprise, surprise. Number 11. All right, hold on. Before we get to that, I would add ex-partner. It's it's some unfinished baggage from the past, maybe, but it's also, and this is where the shame comes in. I don't want anyone to feel shamed because it's a good sign if you think about your ex. Very normal and very common, even in the data that we've collected, to think about your ex just as you're about to start a new journey, a new relationship journey in your life. When you're about to get married, when you're just getting, dating somebody new, you're getting serious, you're getting engaged. Very normal to dream about your ex because your mind is going back and rehearsing the past. And that's good for you because it's going back and saying, what mistakes did we make with our ex? What were some of the toxic traits about our ex? What were some of the things that we wish we could have avoided in the past? And it's going to bring that helpful insight into your life right now. So dreaming about your ex is not bad. It's a way for your mind to process your history to make sure you don't repeat the same mistakes. So don't start feeling shamed or guilty because you're having sex with your ex in your dream. That's a good thing. Your mind is processing those old neural networks that you haven't activated in a while. So just to add a little bit of that clarity for you. And I guess we're getting to surprise symbol number 11.
11. This is a bonus symbol.
I
And
guess.
this next one is not so much a symbol, but a common occurrence in dreams, and that is but have different meaning. Seal, seal. Close, close. Bear,
Is there a skip there?
seal, seal. That is but have different meaning. An occurrence in dreams, and
skipped
that
that.
is but have different meaning. Seal, seal. Close, close. Bear, bear. Choose, choose. You get it? When I was going through a major
Mnemonic play inside of dreams. Yes, great. I love that. An added 11th little bonus tip. It's very normal for your brain to actually use mnemonic devices inside of dreams. One of the best sort of examples of this is an individual had a dream where they gave their father in the dream 6 roses. And they gave their father 6 roses at their funeral. And they're like, what does this mean? And so they worked on it really, really tough. I can't take credit for this. This is somebody else's research. But they gave their father 6 roses at their funeral, and they found out that 6 roses, cirrhosis. They found out that their father had cirrhosis of the liver because of their alcohol problem. and it was turning into a life-threatening illness. So there was a mnemonic play, 6 roses, cirrhosis. Very, very interesting. The mind is so creative in that way. And so, yes, pay attention to sort of the alternative mnemonic devices inside of your dreams. Some of the synonyms, not necessarily synonyms, but someone put it in the comments. What do you call it when the word sounds the same but means different things? Somebody help me out there. But yes, great point to make. So let me know, what do you think? Do you agree with some of the more biblical and spiritual interpretations, or do you like the more psychoanalytical Jungian approach to dream interpretation? I'm curious which of these symbols you've had. So please put them down in the description below. And while you're there, please help spread the video. Watch another video. That is what YouTube cares about the most. I've made so many great content and videos that will help you understand what your mind is trying to tell you. So tap on another one. YouTube cares a lot about that. It promotes my channel, and hit subscribe while you're down there. And if you would like for me to personally interpret your dream, don't forget that you can send it directly to me at lyonmentalhealth.com. Just tap services and dream interpretation. We have a wonderful community over on Discord, and I will personally interpret your dream by sending it to me through that website. I'd love to give you the insight from your unconscious mind so you can interpret those symbols. And until then, take it easy. Bye.